What's up, everybody? This is Thycompany here. Welcome to today's live stream. And today is a special live stream because today is the 2024 solar eclipse live stream. And today is also April the 8th, 2024. Glad to have you all here today. Hope your solar eclipse day has been wonderful so far, and also your month of April. So, yeah, welcome, everybody. Hope you all been doing well. Now, as a kind of a disclaimer as well, we were also having we had technical issues earlier, and our internet went out. So this is the second attempt at trying to do today's live stream. So hopefully this time doesn't mess up on us. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, guys, today is the solar eclipse special live stream, and also a good thing we want to put out as well. We have a new subscriber count as well. We are at we have over now 2,700 subscribers on the Thycompany live stream, which is amazing. So yeah, keep it up, guys. We're going to try to get to over 3,000. We want to get to over 3,000 subscribers by the end of April, which I think we're on really good, awesome track to hit that goal. So yeah, guys. So for today's solar eclipse live stream, I'm going to tell you all about two solar eclipse stories that has happened within my recent memory, which would be the 2017 solar eclipse and also today's 2024 solar eclipse as well. So yeah, so who's going to be my first person to join the chat here? Who's going to be the first person to chat in the live stream here? Hopefully somebody's going to come in soon. So yeah, the 2017 solar eclipse, which is the first one that I remember within distant memory, is back when I was working at this Russian cafe. The Russian cafe was called Babushka's Pierogies, and it was kind of towards like the South Charlotte, kind of closer towards Pineville and all that. And I worked as a dishwasher there for a little bit. And on the day we had the solar eclipse, I remember I was being a dishwasher there, and it was kind of a rundown bootleggy place because they didn't even have a dishwashing machine. We had to go and hand wash everything, which was, thinking about it back then, that was crazy. There's ain't no restaurant or cafe going to be doing that nowadays here in Charlotte. So yeah, and it was but that's a kind of another story for another live stream. But on the day of the solar eclipse, I remember everybody was freaking out. Everybody was going crazy saying, the solar eclipse is going to go here, man. It's going to be the end of the world. It's going to be, we got to go, we got to prep our survival tents and all that, all that kind of craziness. Right. And I remember, so when the solar eclipse came, this was in August of 2018. This is a little bit before I started working at the airport. And so when the solar eclipse came on by, everybody was freaking out. And the way the cafe was built, we had a front door and a back door. And, everybody's coming in usually out of the front door and the kitchen, that back door, and everybody's running out the kitchen door in the back. And I'm like, what's going on? And the next thing I know, I see that it's starting to get darker and darker, and it's unusually dark. And on top of that, there's this weird, like, reddish tone to the lighting, to the sun. And I'm like, what in the world's going on here? So I go outside, right? And I do this thing that's called the finger trick. Now, before I talk about the finger trick, a few quick things I got to remember before I forget. We were talking about this in the first stream, and then the internet connection destroyed everything, right? So we have to restart from scratch, unfortunately, because of that crazy technical situation, right? So first thing, Babushka's Pierogies. So pierogies are these little pies. They're like pastry treats, but they're like, you can fill them up with like a meat filling, and you can also put like, make it kind of like a snack, or make it more into like a dessert where, versus it having like meats and vegetables, desserts like jams, berries. So that's kind of what pierogies mean. Now back to the solar eclipse thing. So, Russians, we don't need to buy some solar eclipse glasses, since they were pricey back then. I think, what were they like? at least $20 back then. Nowadays it's kind of cheaper. You can get some cheaper glasses, but yeah, back then it was kind of expensive. It was like 20 something bucks in and higher. People were making the money back then. And so we, being Russians and everybody being poor, we did the finger trick, where you kind of put your hand over your eye, and then you kind of like slightly open the fingers, so you kind of have a way to sort of look at the sun without like revealing the complete sunlight to your vision. And I could like barely see anything, and I was like, but that was the mistake I made, because see, when I did that, I started getting headaches, and then my eyes felt like they were twitching. And that twitching sensation is not something good, right? So I'm like, oh man, I've done it now. Thycompany's done it now. And and I was having like these headaches and this weird like sensation in my eye, and it wasn't like pain. It was... Я позвоню Рахиме. Она не отвечает телефон. Надо позвонить мне. Sorry about that. My grandmother interrupted the talk. So yeah, so I had like headaches for the rest of the day, and that's why I don't be recommending anybody be trying that finger trick out, even though I know some people be talking about that across the country. So yeah, I was having headaches for the rest of the day. One cool thing that I did notice was that because of the solar eclipse and the way that the light was being refracted onto the land, it looked like as if the leaves on the trees and the bushes and the flowers, they were given this weird shadow, and it almost looked like a half moon, like crescent shaped shadow. And they were also doing this weird thing, like a dance almost. It looked like the shadow was like moving back and forth, almost like it was vibrating really fast, right? And I thought that was the weirdest thing too, because it was lasting for several hours even after the solar eclipse had passed through, which I thought was the weirdest things that I remember experiencing from the 2017 solar eclipse. Now for today's solar eclipse, the 2024 solar eclipse, that solar eclipse was kind of interesting too, because I remember, so I'm based here in Charlotte, North Carolina. So we didn't have a total solar eclipse. It was a partial solar eclipse. It was kind of interesting because we had a lot of weird things going on. Now, we didn't have like the leaf, what they call the crescent moon shaped trick, where it looked like it was dancing back and forth, vibrating. And it looked like the sun was starting to go down, like a sunset. And we all thought it was cool, especially my grandparents, because they woke up. Now they like to sleep in, so when they woke up around like 3 p.m., which I know is late, but they woke up and they're like, "Oh man, did we sleep in too late? Oh, I think we hit the sunset already. Oh man, now we really got to go get up now." And so, and I'm telling them like, no, it's not. It's not sunset, it's the solar eclipse. And we had like 80% coverage, and the maximum coverage was like around 3:11 p.m., so 11 minutes past 3 p.m. And so what I did was, for this 2024 solar eclipse, now this time, my mom being in like a better place and actually making more money and all that, she could go and afford buying solar eclipse for glasses for everybody. And then I think my young sister Anna, she got a pair of those glasses at school, so she got the free pair, which is cool, because ain't no Russian gonna be buying some money over some solar eclipse glasses, right? But basically, they got to see what they could, but it was hard to see. And my mom was complaining that she was wanting to take a photograph of the solar eclipse, but it didn't work out. And so she wasn't happy, because she make content for her YouTube channel, which what does she have? She only has like 30 subscribers versus my 2.7K subscribers. But yeah, because we do work, son. We gotta do work. Who remembers that video, right? But yeah, So I went outside and I was like, well, let me try to do the finger trick again. Even though that was a very dumb decision, right? So I went outside, and guess what? The clouds are blocking the sun. And I'm like, oh man, well, let me see if I can still figure something out. So I'm like walking around outside, trying to find an area without any clouds. And I do the finger trick, and I don't see anything. It's just a bright sun, right? I'm like, screw this. I'm going back inside. And then my eyes started feel like it was twitching again. But this time I didn't get no headaches. So hopefully I didn't, burn my eyes out this time, right? I don't want to see no blind Thycompany here. Um, so yeah, be very safe. Yesterday I was yelling at everybody, I was like, y'all better just be sitting in and watching in the camera coverage on the TV. That's going to be the safest and best thing for you. And that's what I still recommend. It's like, it's not worth ruining your health for, something that's going to last maybe like a few minutes at most. And I know people. Oh, and the other thing I want to talk to you all about too is this crazy, we got to make money off the solar eclipse thing that everybody has been doing here in the U.S. So like, so many people were flying out of North Carolina into Indiana, even though it wasn't just Indiana. Texas had it, Ohio had it, Indiana had it, Maine had it as well, and I know a few other places had, like New York, part of New York. And just like a map of all the places where you can see where it flew over, or where the trajectory or pathway was, or what my friend keeps calling the line of demarcation, which is, I don't think that's a real technical term in this, or involved. But like, everybody was flying into Indiana and go watch the solar eclipse. Now I remember back during the 2017 solar eclipse, we had freaking a bunch of crazy hotels up in the mountains of North Carolina where they were having the better coverage. They decided to freaking inflate prices to like 11,000 for a night. Yeah, he going to some rundown country hotel for 11,000 a night just to watch the solar eclipse. Not Thycompany. So yeah, y'all better be careful about that. And then the new thing that's on the news today as well, talking about the solar eclipse, was that apparently all these scammers are out there are making some counterfeit solar eclipse glasses. And that's kind of concerning, right? So I think NASA has a list of verified vendors who they have contacted, and they have a list of approved people who they recognize you can buy glasses from. There probably is a few other government agencies, but y'all better be really careful, because I don't want people be losing their eyes over some natural celestial event, right? And plus, when I was in school, I think now, arguably, if you want like the best experience to solar eclipse, yeah, you do want to be in that line of 100% coverage. Like, they did show some videos from 2017. I believe the solar eclipse had 100% coverage over Charleston, South Carolina, and they showed this video where it did get dark like at night dark. So, and I thought that was pretty cool to watch as a video. But it's a hard thing to come by, right? But there's ways, there's so many. But luckily, with modern day science, you can kind of predict where to go. So that's cool. And I was looking at a few different maps showing where some of the future solar eclipses, like trajectories, are going to be. There's a lot of places talking about, the next solar eclipse is going to be in 2099, which I don't think, which is not necessarily true. I mean, yeah, that's like the next major one. But they're talking about having ones like there's a bunch of ones that are going to happen in Africa and like a lot of the Arab nations. Like, I know that Algeria is having one, I think, in 2027. There's going to be one or two in like Saudi Arabia in the future. Australia is going to get a bunch of them as well. There's like a few different maps that show the trajectory. There's like an Alaskan one that's going to happen later in the future as well. But yeah, just do your research online if you want to see exactly where everything's going to go. But yeah, guys, other than that, I mean, this is pretty much the two stories I wanted to share you all for this for today's solar eclipse live stream special. I was hoping on or counting on more people to join today's live stream though. But that's probably because, that probably wasn't the case because of all this weird internet outages and technical issues and all that though. But this time, I'm glad that it's that's not prevalent now. So yeah. Otherwise, guys, this has been Thycompany here. And if you have not already, make sure to subscribe to the Thycompany channel, like this video, comment down below, and yeah, help us get 1,000 subscriber goal. That's something that we're actively trying to pursue now, guys. Thank you all for watching today's episode. Stay safe. Happy Solar Eclipse Day. And we'll see you all on the next live stream. Take care, guys. Peace out.